How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Next Goal Wins TV. Let's talk about Arsenal versus Fulham. 1-1, almost 2-1 if it wasn't for Gabriel Martinelli's foot being offsides, which those offsides calls really bother me. I get it's the rules. I'm not going to complain against the law because it totally makes sense. But it just bothers me that his foot being a foot offsides has no effect on the play whatsoever. So if Martinelli would have just started a step back, he still would have been able to receive the ball. He still would have been able to cross the ball, and we would have been able to win 2-1. But that's just the way the game goes. Fulham, full credit to them. They played a very, very good match, especially in the first half. This was probably one of the first performances that I've seen from Arsenal in a while, or from another team playing against Arsenal in a while, that I felt like we just weren't good enough creating opportunities against them. Fulham playing in a 4-2-3-1. Raul Jimenez, the Mexican. If anybody's going to score against Arsenal, I prefer it to be a Mexican player. Raul Jimenez, what a brilliant run. Does the little chest pass, brings it down, and then when he starts making his run, it's almost like a football play if you look at it, like an American football play. He checks in, brings Kivior with him, and then runs in behind, gets the ball, and then a really good finish, catching Raya kind of going backwards and just a little bit off balance. So fair play to Fulham. I thought their game was always going to be, can we sit in defensively? Can we just make sure we lock up the middle, try and prevent as many corner kicks and set pieces as possible, and then hit them on the counter attack? And that's exactly what they did in the first half. So first half was difficult because I just didn't really see us getting any real opportunities consistently. And then I think naturally what happens is, as Fulham's up 1-0 going into halftime, Arsenal are going to start making some adjustments, push forward, and Fulham naturally started dropping a little bit more into a defensive block, which made it easier for us because I think we have players like Martin Odegaard who are really good at unlocking really tight-knit defenses, just because he doesn't need that much room to be able to play a through ball in, or to be able to get the ball in turn in that space where the 10 operates. So having Odegaard, I think, is a massive help, because obviously you could tell the difference when he's not healthy versus when he is. We just look a lot more dangerous. However, we are set pieces, corner kicks, crosses, FC. That should be our new name right now, because Arsenal, the way that we're playing in the first half, like I said, we didn't create too many opportunities. In the second half, we started creating a lot more because of the defensive block that Fulham was in, which ultimately leads us to getting a lot more corner kicks, a lot more set pieces, and you guys know we're always going to be dangerous in those. I don't want that to become Arsenal's full identity. I don't want us to be known for that, but I do think that that's really smart that Mikel Arteta has embraced that as a way of getting opportunities, especially when teams break us down or teams lock it in so that we can't get that many opportunities. So Fulham in that 4-2-3-1, just having those wingers kind of tucked in a little bit more, essentially gives you 5 players in the middle. And when you're a team like Arsenal, who's always trying to find Odegaard, who's always trying to find Rice, it becomes very difficult for us to do anything. Fair play to Anthony Robinson, who I thought played a really good game defending against Saka, especially in the first half. He did a really good job of starting deep and then timing his movement so that he would intercept the pass out wide, so the pass never got out wide. And then in the 1v1s, Anthony Robinson, I think, is one of the best defenders in the Premier League. So yeah, Fulham did a good job until the second half. I think they switched into a 4-5-1 at times, and then the deeper and deeper that they'd be defending, they almost switched into a 5-4-1 and really were just parking the bus. Raul Jimenez, for the start of the second half, was just chasing and just being the one guy doing all of the work, which is why he had to get subbed out in the last 10-15 minutes of the match, just because they needed somebody with fresh legs. But Fulham did a good job. They held on. It's very difficult to keep Arsenal scoreless. That's always going to be difficult, because if you can lock us out of scoring from open play, chances are we're going to score from a set piece. So Arsenal, really good job of being able to get back into the game, making it much more of a typical game for us as far as being on the attack, but just not enough in the end. And I'm sure Bernd Leno is probably pretty happy about that, obviously the former Arsenal man. So let's take a look at the stats. As you can see, 67% possession for Arsenal, 33% for Fulham, which is to be expected, especially because I think most of that was really just in the second half. 1.93 expected goals. And once again, because it's Arsenal, I like to look at the expected goals from set plays. So 1.63 expected goals from set plays and only 0.3 from open play. That's the team that we're becoming right now. That's the team that we're becoming, because that's the team that we have to be. Unfortunately, this would be much better if we were able to do this on top of the open play. I mean, I think about 2 years ago, Arsenal we used to come out flying. First 5-10 minutes, teams wouldn't be able to contain us, and we would just look so dangerous. It's hard when people start dropping in form a little bit. I mean, Gabriel Jesus hasn't played consistently or well at all in a long time. Martinelli still, he doesn't feel like the same Martinelli that we had 2 years ago. Leandro Trossard, who used to come off the bench, is now starting, and for whatever reason, he doesn't always do as well as a starter as he does when he comes off the bench, which kind of sucks for him. And so you rely on our most consistent players, which are Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, who ultimately Saka could have had the winner if Martinelli wasn't offsides, but you know exactly what you're going to get out of Martin Odegaard every single time he plays. It's also nice to have Mikel Merino, Ethan Nwaneri coming off the bench, just because I think bringing in somebody with experience who hasn't played a lot for Arsenal like Mikel Merino, I think he's motivated, he's hungry, he knows the system, he's a very tactical person, and I thought he actually played a really good ball in to break one of the lines right before it went out to Martinelli to cross it in for that second goal that was disallowed. So I really like that from him. And then Ethan Nwaneri, man, the kid is young, he's hungry. He reminds me a lot of a young Martinelli coming through the ranks as far as his willingness to be creative, to try and do some risky things in order to create chances. But it's tough season so far for us, because when you have to rely on set pieces, and a team like Fulham and the future teams that we'll be playing against, their main objective is going to be how can we stop set pieces from Arsenal? How can we prevent them from getting easy corner kicks, easy free kicks? If we're not performing well from open play, it's always going to be very difficult. However, good thing that we came back and got the tying goal from Saliba. Now it's just, can we start consistently winning, because we do need to close the gap on Liverpool. And it's only a matter of time before Manchester City starts coming back and getting result after results. And Arsenal just need to get it all together, because now that we've got, for the most part, everyone healthy, I know we've had some changes in the back line, but for the most part, we have everyone healthy, at least in the attack. That's the part that still worries me right now, that we have all of our players, and yet we're not performing as well in the attack from open play. So let me know in the comment section, what are your guys' thoughts on Arsenal versus Fulham? Arsenal, set pieces, corner kicks, crosses FC, officially to be renamed pretty soon. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.